The Topo Runventure 3, a wide toe box, zero drop shoe that I put 71 miles into and honestly, might be my new favorite. Stick around, I'll tell you all about the shoe, what I love about it, what I don't love about it, and why it's so muddy. Let's get into it. What's up, Dirt Junkies? Thank you for stopping by Dose of Dirt. Today we are talking about the Topo Athletic Runventure 3. If you've watched a few of my other videos, you know that I'm trying out this shoe because I'm looking for a wide toe box, zero drop trail runner that I can rely on for a lot of miles for both running and hiking. The Topo Runventure 3 is the latest one I'm testing out, but before I tell you what I love about it and don't love about it, let me first give you an overview of the shoe. First of all, I should mention that this is a zero drop shoe, which means that the stack height in the heel and the toe is the same. That stack height is 20 millimeters. It also has a roomy toe box, where a lot of trail runners will be a little bit more constricting in that toe box area. This one is a little bit wider to give your toes room to splay every time that you take a step. As far as the weight, a men's size 9 is 9.5 ounces. Mine is a 10.5, so it's a little bit heavier than that, but that's a pretty standard weight for a solid trail shoe. The outsole on the Runventure 3 is a Vibram XS Trek Evo. They have included a rock plate in the forefoot. That's nice to know if you're running on rocky trails. Let's talk about the upper. The upper is made of a nice durable mesh, but one thing I really like about the upper is that they've included this silicone material all around, from the middle of the foot, around the front, and then around the other side. And last of all, the price. This shoe comes in at $120 US, which is more and more feeling like the lower end of what you pay for a quality trail shoe. Let's talk about what I love and don't love about the Topo Runventure 3. First of all, things that I love about this shoe. It all starts with the zero drop and the wide toe box. If you haven't run in a zero drop or wide toe box shoe before, it is something that you have to get used to. Most of our feet are used to shoes that do have a drop from the heel to the toe and that have a more constrictive toe box. If it's something you haven't tried yet, I would definitely watch some more videos about it and consider giving it a shot, but do it slowly. Transitioning to a zero drop shoe can take some time so that your muscles can develop in the right way. I love that this is a zero drop wide toe box trail shoe. Next, we have to talk about this outsole. You can see it's a little muddy, but we're going to talk about it anyway. A Vibram outsole is another thing that I really like to see on my trail runners. I have run in other trail runners that have other outsoles, but I really prefer a trail runner that has a Vibram outsole. And I can tell you that based on my experience, the outsole on this shoe performs better than those on other shoes. I've made it a point to run in the same wet sloppy loop in these shoes as well as some other shoes, so I can really compare the traction on these with the traction on some other shoes. And I can tell you that the Vibram outsole shoes always performed better than other shoes that I tried. For example, Altra with their Max Track outsole. Vibram just really has the formula down for a nice, high quality, grippy, sturdy material on the outsole of your shoe. With that said, no outsole is perfect. There have been a few conditions where this has been slippery, but no shoe would perform well in those. Ice or extremely slippery rock close to streams, I did slip in these shoes, but no outsole is perfect. Those are conditions where you just need to be careful or take spikes with you. This is my go-to muddy trail shoe, and that is why it is so muddy. I think I've talked enough about the outsole at this point. Let's move on to the next thing I like, which is absolutely the comfort. As I already mentioned, the wide toe box and zero drop makes this a very comfortable shoe for me, but even more than that, the midsole material that they use really stands up well, even to double-digit miles. I have used this shoe on both trail runs and hikes up to 11 miles, and it has performed beautifully. The other thing I should mention in the comfort department is that the heel cup does lock in nicely, but it's still a little bit flexible. You can see there it's got a little bit of give, but it's sturdy enough that it's going to hold your heel steady while you're running, turning, or cutting on those trails. Another thing I really like about this shoe is this silicone that goes all the way around from here. You can see it comes around the front there, and then around the side there. It does have those drainage ports on both the inside and the outside, but that silicone type material makes a big difference when I'm running through wet or dewy grass or just mildly wet conditions. This makes a big difference in keeping my feet dry because it doesn't let water penetrate. But since the rest of the shoe is still made of quick drying mesh, if I do step into a puddle or something like that, my foot can still dry quickly because of the quick drying mesh, as well as the drainage ports on either side. And the last thing I'll mention about the Topo Runventure 3 that I love about it is the durability. As I said, the shoe has 71 miles in it and it still has a ton of life left. I don't really see any signs of real wear on the shoe. One thing that I always look at is that toe cap. You can see that that's not separating from the shoe at all, which is something that I've experienced in other brands of shoes. And even in spots on the shoe where there's a high amount of wear, like right here by the toe, you can see even though it's a little wrinkled, that overlay isn't coming off at all. As well as on the other side back here by my heel, you can see while it's wrinkling, that overlay is still completely solid. It's not separating at all. I'm really tired of trail runners that wear out at 100 to 150 miles. I need them to last longer than that to justify the price that I'm paying. For $120, I think this one's going to last me well past 300 miles, and I love that. But with that, that's enough gushing about the Runventure 3. Let me talk about a few things that I don't love about it, or that you should at least be aware of before you decide to try out this shoe. The first thing I don't love about this shoe is the low stack height. And that's really because I'm looking more for a trail shoe that can handle a lot of different conditions, higher mileage, rougher trails, and the low stack height on this isn't always what I'm looking for. It works great for shorter runs or smoother trails, but there are times when I'm using it for longer runs or on rougher trails that I can really feel those rough parts of the trail getting through the outsole and the midsole to my foot, and that's really just because of the low stack height. It feels the same as other shoes with similar stack heights like the Ultra Superior. It's just a lower stack height, which means you're going to feel more of the trail underfoot. Some people love a low stack height and some people really want more. I would prefer a shoe that has maybe 25 millimeters, but this is great for runs and hikes up to 11, 12 miles. That seems to be the sweet spot for me with the Runventure 3. The next thing you should be aware of, and is a little bit of a con for me on this shoe, is that there's no gaiter trap. There isn't any loop up here on the front of the shoe like you see on a lot of shoes, or any attachments on the back. Even some other Topo shoes do have attachments here in the back for a gaiter, and the reason that's such a big deal to me, while I have never used a gaiter, I really considered it running in these messy, muddy, wintry conditions here on the East Coast, because this is my go-to shoe in those muddy trail conditions, as I said, which means I end up getting a lot of mud and rocks flipped up, and sometimes they can get into my shoe. So if you hate gaiters, never use them, that doesn't matter. But if you love gaiters, then that's definitely something you should know before you purchase the Runventure 3. And the last thing I'll mention, and it's a little bit nitpicky, I know, but the colors on this are just killing me. It's either this grandpa gray or a boring black. I like a little bit of flash on my trail shoes. It doesn't impact the performance of the shoe. I still like and wear the shoe anyway, but I mean, I just wish it wasn't gray. So those are the only things that I can really find that I don't love about this shoe. With all of that said, overall, I absolutely love this shoe. If you're looking for a low stack height trail runner with serious grip and is comfortable on long runs and hikes, this could be the ticket. I love this shoe. Topo really makes a quality product. Let me know what you guys think. Are you considering the Runventure 3? Would you like more of a stack height, or is 20 millimeters the sweet spot? Tell me what you think about this shoe or others that you're considering down in the comments below. And remember, life is better with some dirt in it. Today we're talking about the Topo Athletic. Let's talk about what I love and don't love about this minimally stack heighted. That felt really weird. Sound weird? To give your toes room to splay every time that you take a step. I'm not sure why I did 4. Some people love stack height. Holy moly. A low stack height. Now, the first dislike, 1 mile. The feeling is the same. Oh my gosh, Jeff, you're struggling tonight. Stop it.